Hello dear students, this session will be on denture base repair. Denture resin made of polymethyl methacrylate is very simple to repair. To make the repair, it's necessary that the fractured piece can be reassembled in their correct relation like that. No missing parts in between. And some measures are taken to prevent the new acrylic resin from flowing on the tissue portion of the denture base and to ensure that both mechanical lock and chemical bond exists between the old and new acrylic resin. An instrument and materials we're going to use is rubber bowl and spatula, some plaster, brush, plasticine, acrylic bear and micromotor. Repair acrylic resin, we use autopolymerizing acrylic resin. We use droppers, one for the powder, one for the liquid. We're going to need glass slab and some sticky. First, before doing anything, we must examine the segment of the broken denture. We must be sure that all the pieces are present and the fracture edges are free of debris, like this. No missing part between the two sides of the fractured pieces. Hold the fractured pieces in their correct position. We may use plasticine to hold pieces together till looting them. We're going to use one piece of plasticine. Place it just for support. Place the two parts in the right assemble. Like this. To make sure we preserve the position. After assembling using plasticine for support, we're going to use small wood stick and sticky wax for support and to maintain the position. As mentioned, we used the small wooden stick and sticky wax here and here to attach the two fracture part and make sure they maintain their position while pouring the fitting surface with plaster. We made a small mix of plaster in slightly thin consistency, like that. We're going to reverse the denture, put the plaster on one side, and tap it to the other side till it fills the whole fitting surface. We make this, we make sure no air bubble are trapped again. And slide a bit like that. That's it. We're going to leave it. We initially set it, and we're going to make another mix of plaster, but this time it's going to be a thick mix. Here is the second mix. It's a very thick mix. We're going to place it on a glass slab, we shape it like a ball as much as we can. And then we're going to place the fractured denture on stone like that. And with the spatula, we're going to remove the excess and fill any voids between stone and denture like that. We place the fractured parts, the rooted fracture part on stone, and we removed any excess as demonstrated. We must be careful not to embed the border of the denture in the stone. The periphery of the denture should be slightly indented in the stone to form an index for easy replacement and removal, and should be removed from the stone without danger of fracture. Here we're going to wait for the base to be completely set before we remove the fractured denture from it. We're going to widen the fracture line to make a bevel, for better attachment of two acryls. So we're going to use the bear and widen the fracture line to make a bevel. So using the acrylic pair, we widened the fracture line with it, making a bevel. Then we will reassemble it on our cast. So if you see, we have a space here. We make sure the assembly is okay. We're going to remove it. We're going to paint the plaster with Vaseline. At the area we're going to add, to replace the fracture, and add self-cure. Then we're going to we're going to clean it well and reassemble again. All okay. We want to use our dropper, one for the monomer, one for the powder. We're going first to wet the fracture line with the monomer of the both parts. We're going to put just a little bit here. Make sure our assembly is correct. Then we're going to add the powder, like sprinkle on method, like pepper and salt. We're going to a very small layer. And when we put the good powder, we want to make more monomer. So we add the powder and monomer until we completely fill the fracture line and overfill it a little bit. Then we're going to leave it in warm water to accelerate setting. So after complete setting of the repaired denture, we're going to remove it from the warm water, and if there is any excess, we're going to trim it with the micromotor, and then we are going to polish it with the wheel rug and slurry pumice.